all that internal fighting is time out for that.
When you talk about playing fair, I think you guys never ever played fair as it relates to me becoming the first female mayor of Dalton. This is all the trustees. Trustee House. Hold on, I want to clear it up because you guys tell lies. You guys are too prideful to come and just really learn from your superman. You guys ran on my ticket, especially Belcher. Ran on my ticket, ain't never won none in her life, lost every election. You sitting here bank rubbing the town. That's what y'all doing, bank rubbing the town. Trustee House, Trustee Belcher, Trustee Brown, not Stan Brown, Tammy Brown, and Trustee Norwood. When y'all do know I am the first. I'm the first youngest female mayor. Female. A secret squirrel meeting.
Ma'am, may I be addressed?
Yep, go ahead, Trustee Norwood.
I feel, Mayor, that because earlier I was really saddened. As an elected official, I couldn't believe that earlier, because we were given this information on Friday in regards to what was going to be on the agenda. So of course we couldn't ask questions. We couldn't do our research Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, because yesterday was a holiday. So today, the first thing I did was called the appropriate department so that I can, because my goal as an elected trust official is to make informed decisions. So if the decision is not informed, if I don't have enough information, I feel as if I don't have enough information to make that decision. So when I was called, I continued to call one of the department heads in the village earlier. They wouldn't answer. And then when I called Chris, our finance guy, earlier, I said, hey, I just have some questions regarding some of these items because I'd like to know what they are before making my vote tonight. And he stated that he couldn't give me the information, that I had to speak with you. Now, my problem with that is this. I'm thinking that the goal is to make it as easy as possible for when we're trying to do this research so that we can be ready to vote and make the appropriate decisions. So earlier when he stated that he couldn't give me the information, I'm thinking, hey, what do I do from here? Do I wait to the board meeting like now to ask you? But if we wait to now, then we don't really have enough time to make that decision. So I feel as if that's where I'm at as a trustee on the board whose job is to govern the finances part. I feel as if I shouldn't have a problem speaking with any department head to figure out anything that's on the warrant list. I feel like every meeting that there's a warrant list, I'm blindsided and I'm frustrated because I'm in a rush to do this research to figure out the expenses that were paid out. So I've seen a lot of, for instance, we've seen the tree cutting. My issue is not paying the tree cutting company. My issue is, do we have a tree list? I know you asked that before. Do we have a tree list? Who's governing the tree list? Can I, as a member of the board, have access to the tree list? So I think that in regards to moving forward and making these decisions with the warrant list, it will be easier if the appropriate departments can feel comfortable with giving us the information and not feel as if they don't want to tell us the information because they don't want to make you angry and they don't want any backlash from making you angry. So that's what I was getting earlier from when I was calling Chris, our finance guy, and when I was trying to call Janice to figure out, hey, what is this? I see this payment is on here. And even with Mad Bomber, the way you just broke that down, okay, but we still have to look into it. But when we look at the warrant list, that was our question. I know we donated $5,000, and I know that more than $5,000 was spent. So just in regards to my explanation for why I feel the way I feel with some of the things that we're tabling tonight or putting off at the moment, is just, again, because I would like more information before I approve those items. Thank you, Mayor.
So, as you all know, that if y'all have any problems as it relates to not getting information or have a problem, the thing you could have done, Trustee Norwood, is call my phone. But my board don't want to pick up my phone calls, don't want to communicate with their mayor. So how can you get up here and you guys grandstand about information that you cannot get when all you have to do is call me if you can't get something or you're not getting anywhere in the village as it relates to an item that you need addressing? As it relates to Mayor Balmer, we all voted, or you guys voted, because I don't vote no longer, but you all voted to pay them $5,000 in the beginning when we first started to do the fireworks show. We only put down $3,000, leaving us a balance of $2,000 left to pay them. We did not pay them no more than $3,000. So now I'm saying, why will we not continue with what we agreed to in the beginning, which is to pay $5,000 and everybody else cover the difference as related to getting the fireworks show on? It's said that we are here with this. It is said that we can't communicate amongst ourselves as adults, and that every time we come to this meeting, we got to do this. So I'm hoping and praying that my board will get on one accord with me and call my phone, because I called all y'all. So I know you see the missed call from Mayor Henyard. Call my phone back and communicate with me so that we can be as a unit and show unity amongst community, because they want to see that. Right now, they don't want to see the division. They don't want to see us going back and forth like we're doing. So I'm all game for that. But I do have something to say, but I'm going to leave it for my mayoral report so that I won't make this longer than what it has to be, because we do got a presentation and several different items on the agenda. So I'm gonna let it be where it's at. You guys remove.
Oh, no, I wasn't finished, Mayor, because I know I was referring, I know you asked me a question. So your question was, again, why I didn't call your phone. So I guess my question. Yes, can you hear me?
Wait, no. Let me finish. I'm not done. I don't want to go back and forth, because then basically everybody gonna say something, gonna go back and forth for like 30 minutes. So that's why I'm just making a statement, and then we're gonna move forward, and then we all.
I had a question, Mayor. I just had a question for you, Mayor. So I was wondering if you could answer my question. That's all. It wasn't. So my question was this: you stated that I should call your phone. Are you saying that I shouldn't be able to get the proper information from the appropriate department heads? I shouldn't be able to get the information from them? Why is it that I have to call your phone?
You can get the information from anybody, but I'm saying if you had a problem, normally they call the mayor. But you didn't do that. You said, I didn't know, where do I go next?
I called Chris. I called the finance guy today, Mayor.
I don't know where to go next. So if you don't know where to go next, you call the mayor. If you feel the mayor's doing it, why didn't you call me if that's what y'all feel? So
okay, Mayor, I'm asking you this. If everyone is informed to not provide us with the information that we are requesting to make informed decisions as board members on the board, why is it that they're afraid to answer our questions? I'm asking you.
They're not afraid to answer any questions. Okay. That's what I'm saying to you, Trustee. So what I'm saying is that everybody got the information wrong. So if you have a question or have a suggestion, call my phone. So let's move forward, because I don't want this meeting to be to 1 o'clock in the morning. So you guys made a motion and you made a second. You guys want to remove those items? That's fine. So if you could, Clerk Keith, call the roll. Okay, moving on. Next is discussion only, censure of the mayor. Trustee Brown, you have the floor.
Okay. I put this on the agenda because the mayor's not following the ordinances that the Board of Trustees have put into place. And I'm going to read. It says, an ordinance censoring Mayor Henyard. Whereas the village of Dalton, Cook County, Illinois, is a home rule municipality pursuant to Section 6, Article 7 of the 1970 Constitution of the State of Illinois, and as such may exercise any power and perform any function pertaining to its government and affairs. Whereas the village of Dalton is committed to an effective operation of the village in order to provide effective governance and leadership for the village. Whereas the village of Dalton needs all 5 members to contribute to the positive working and social environment for colleagues on the board. Whereas the village is committed to upholding policies of both the state and the village, providing for respectful communications, and policy governing the mayor's actions and behaviors, which set an example of positive leadership in the village. Whereas the state and the village of Dalton has a code of conduct that every representative is required to adhere to. Whereas no request for proposals for bidding, many contracts can be handpicked by the mayor without being bid on. Whereas no checks should be sent manually that the board of trustees do not approve. Whereas no comp time shall be used to work the mayor's personal events. And whereas no village property, including but not limited to sidewalks, shall be painted without board approval. Whereas the budget shall be adhered to unless otherwise approved and voted on by the board of trustees. Whereas the village hall of the village of Dalton shall remain open to employees and all elected officials, and no lock shall be placed on the doors to prohibit access. And whereas the Open Meetings Act shall not be violated by canceling meetings, removing agendas once they have been posted. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Village of Dalton Board of Trustees does hereby censure Mayor Henyard for her actions, which has a negative impact on the village. Hold on. Be it further resolved, the Board of Trustees do hereby demand Mayor Henyard engage in appropriate, non-discriminatory conduct and work to further positive and inclusive relationship in the village among the trustees.
All right. Any discussion?
Okay, one more thing, I'm sorry. So the Board of Trustees are asking for consent to move this to the October 4th board meeting for votes.
Okay, it will be on the agenda. Any comments? This is regarding the unlawful meeting. So I was making a statement as it related to this meeting here. So this meeting, like the previous call meetings by the trustee, was not properly called for, as the call for the special meeting was not signed as required by law. As such, the legitimacy of all actions taken tonight is in question and remains subject to legal challenge. That's for the record, Clerky. The next one on the censure. The proposed censure is improper and should be dropped immediately. It contains fraudulent and legal inaccuracies. This is clearly a political attack and retaliation for my attempts to responsibly govern the village in a matter that is in the best interest of the residents and not the business or social interests of individual trustees. I will not dignify this political grandstanding by the trustees. I will spend my time working in the best interest of the people of Dalton. That's for the censure, and then you got the unlawful. Now, as it relates to censures. So this is my censure to my board of trustees. And then we're going to retreat. So, number one, I just want to point out everyone's issues that they have that y'all never hear me speak on, talk about, say anything as relates to the board of trustees. Currently now is one-sided, and you guys are the only ones that get your information out. And I never say anything. So residents told me, Mayor, why don't you say anything? So I want to point out to Trustee Belcher, these are the issues that you have. This is your censure. You gave permission to a nonprofit to place a garden on a land that they did not own. You then gave permission to your boss, who you work for, who worked on a property and started doing work without pulling permits. I understand that you really want to be mayor because you ran for it before, but the residents said, no, no, no. The only way you became trustee is because you was on my ticket and ran for trustee. Trustees. This is your censure. You always go along to get along. You've been using the village equipment for personal use, and you never gave it back. I wrote you a email, sent it to you, and you gave the equipment back to the village of Dalton after 4 months of having it. Also asked for administrative rights for our social media to give it to myself and our staff. And then you talked with me time after time, and then you come out and you do the opposite of what you and I discuss. You don't hold up to your word. but you worry about control, then unity. Trustee House, this is your censure. You act like you don't have nothing to do with the position as it relates to the trustees and the position that they're taking. You play the middle. You want to talk, and I feel you wastes my time because we talk 3 hours, 2 hours here and there, but we get nowhere, like you just stated, as it relates to having a conclusion. And you don't pay for vendors after you approve them. That's not right. If people come here to the village of Dawson and do the work, they should get paid for the work that's done. You guys vote on contracts for people to start a job and then get paid through a hissy fit or whatever y'all want to call it. And then y'all say, we're not going to pay that vendor. That's not business-like. And I look at you from a different standard because you are the finance guy. You are the senior trustee. And you are the one that I feel the trustees listen to or get advice from. But yet you're leading them wrong by not making sure that we're doing the business at hand and putting politics to the side. Trustee Brown, quiet as a church mouse, talks to me, and she says she don't have any problems with anything on the agenda, and then comes out and blindsides me just to get a vote to go along with the team. Sits back for years and do nothing. So all of a sudden, it's like everyone's against the mayor. Everyone has something to say about whatever y'all feel I don't do or do. Okay, can't leave you out. Clerk Key, send out the board package. This is your censure. Sent out the board package at 1:46 p.m. today regarding the board meeting tonight at 6:30 p.m. I know that you guys always state that y'all want things in a timely manner, but yet you guys are doing the opposite. It's amazing how rules are for you guys, but when it's rules for me, let me reverse that. When the rules is for you, you guys don't follow it. But when the rules are for me, y'all want me to follow what y'all say. It goes both ways. You come to work a couple of hours, but yet you got a full-time assistant. So who's training who? So last but not least, did I miss somebody? Oh, Britt
is my assistant.
Okay. Next we got Trustee Norwood. You guys never had a committee meeting, and you just go along with the group, whether it's right or wrong, trustee. You voting down the alleys to get paved, and that was my issue as related to you as a trustee, and it was for personal use, and you knew that the Board of Trustees was wrong in doing that, but yet when the residents called all you out and said that y'all was wrong for not giving them what they needed, you guys then put it on this agenda for approval, which I'm happy that's getting approved, but yet we shouldn't play the games because we still have to take care of the business at hand. All the trustees do currently is shoot down anything that I'm trying to do progress with, all for personal agendas and personal attacks. That should be stopped and done here and now, and we should be able to move forward like you guys said and do an olive branch. I call myself doing that and compromising and giving an olive branch by saying, okay, you guys want a committee? Okay, here's your housing committee. Yes, I do and did want it to be the committee of the whole, but yet you guys wanted it, so I bend a little. I've only been in office for 3 months. And I'm going to say this and I'm done. I only been in office for 3 months. And now I'm on my 4th month. All I've asked of the trustees is to give me the chance and stop trying to tear me down or bring me down. What happened to women standing with and for other women as we campaigned on and as we said? When did we get to the point of such division where it couldn't be fixed or rectified? I've asked each trustee as I met with you, sat with you, emailed you, talked to you, spoke to you in passing. And I said, trustees, let's wave the white flag and do what we need to do as a group and as a unit and move as one. It's a shame that the Board of Trustees are so engulfed in destroying me that they don't even realize they're destroying the village with all their personal hidden agendas. The residents that sign up for this, shoot, I didn't sign up for this. So moving forward, I am definitely going to do the will of the people and be great, as I always am. Remember, the people elected me as mayor, and I need you guys to respect that. Now, I'm ready to do our retreat. Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is discussion and possible action regarding ordinance number 21 amending ordinance 1-6-4 powers and duties. Trustee House.
Thank you very much. This ordinance was put up here authorizing the finance department or department heads to have conversations or to speak with the board members regarding issues or questions that they may have. I will say I put this up here specifically because there are a couple of times that I made phone calls in to department heads and they were instructed that the administration or mayor or administration would not allow for that. Most recently, request for the payroll has been asked for on 2 occasions via email and no answer. So as it stands right now, we've gone a month and a half. The last payroll that I've seen was September 1st. And we want to make sure we have this information before the next board meeting to be able to vote on it. So I'm asking that we move this forward so that way the department heads have the access to make sure that they speak with the board members to get the information we're looking for.
Okay. Well, I hate to hear that because I never instructed anybody not to give you any payroll reports. So, Chris, you're on here, Chris. So we're going to get it cleared up right now. And this is what I state to you guys all the time. If y'all have an issue or something's not being done, or maybe got just dropped at the wayside for whatever reason, you guys can call my phone. And we have to learn how to communicate with each other so that we don't have issues that spill over to the board meeting. And we're here to 10:15 at night because we have so much to discuss. So I would like a different type of approach with my board of trustees. But Chris, can you hear me?
Well, prior to Chris, I can also say, Mayor, you were included on all of this communication as well as village administrator and all attorneys.
Yes.
But I would love to hear from Chris because that was one source of my information.
Okay, so as you guys know, I have a ton of meetings. I normally call y'all, right? Most of the time I pick up the phone and call everybody when I want to talk to you about something, just so that my emails don't get overlooked that I sent to the board. Whether you pick up or not, that's really at your discretion. What I'm asking though is moving forward, we all used to talk. Everyone has each other's number. If y'all have a problem with something or something's not being done correctly as it relates to staff here at the Village of Dalton, please call me. I've said this at several meetings. I'm saying it again. Call my phone so we can get it rectified, so we don't have to sit here at a board meeting and go back and forth over who said what, who ain't do what email came through. Because right now the community want to see us unified. They don't want to see us divided. They don't want to see any of the turmoil that most people have. So Chris, I am directing him, and this is me publicly saying it because I said it before. Anything that the Board of Trustees would like or need as it relates to finances or financials, please deliver it. Please give it to them via email so you have a paper trail stating you did give it to them. I know a lot of them come in and they say, give it to them in their hand, but give it to them through email. So now you have a paper trail to cover your butt as well. But as it relates to payroll reports or any financials when it relates to a warrant list, I've always directed people to give information because that's what you vote on. I too was a trustee. And with that being said, I've always gotten the information, so why would I not give it to you guys now? So that's the direction. Any other questions or concerns?
I thought Chris was going to elaborate on that because I want to make sure that I'm completely understanding, because I'm here, which is also why I prefer the email, so that way there is documented communication. I'm not here to lie on anybody else, not only the mayor, Chris, anybody. The first couple of times that I had these concerns, I spoke about them privately, but I mean, trying to email it was documented, and I would love for Chris to kind of tell me, am I crazy when we spoke or what?
Okay, so Chris told you that I said you can have it. Is that what you're stating now, or what are you stating? Yes. I didn't get the question.
Yes.
Okay, that's the question. Okay, Chris, come on.
Okay, so last time we spoke about this, it was my understanding that the board to run these through you, these payroll reports that basically are the earnings from each payroll and the differences between last payroll and current payroll, and the subsequent report that is attached to that of any new changes in payroll. So any new hires, any changes in salaries, any of those types of items. Last we spoke, I was to run those through you.
Okay. So, Chris, that's not true as it relates to run through me, as it relates to payroll report. I tell you, just like I tell anybody, when anybody come in and ask for certain items, y'all know my phone number, call me and let me know. That's what I've told anybody that works here for me. So what I'm saying to you with a payroll report, why would I need you to give me the payroll report for the staff? Why would I need that?
I don't need that. I got the same information that you're giving to the board. Why would I have to give you the okay to say, give them the payroll report or give them the warrant list? All those items, I've always told you to give it to them. Even when you told me that Jason came in and asked for it, I told you to what? Give it to him. So let's get it clear for the record since we're talking about it. So I don't have to lie about anything like that. That's why I'm saying it verbally out of my mouth to the board and you, Chris. Give them whatever they want or need so that no one is going behind my back saying that I said something that I did not say. Because what am I going to do with a payroll report? What would be the reason for me keeping the payroll report from the Board of Trustees? And not only that, you are the chairperson of finance. So all the lies need to stop. That's why I keep saying to the Board of Trustees, call my phone. That's why I say that all the time, because people will lie. People will say anything to save themselves. So just call me. That's it. And we can clear it up.
So my motion is to pay corporate bills with the exclusions noted.
Second.
Okay, it's been motion and second. Any discussion?
May I be recognized?
Yep, go ahead.
There was a couple of questions. We received this on Saturday, in reference to some things. No, it was late Friday. I want to be correct. In reference to some things that was on the warrant list, and Trustee House just pulled some of the items, but there were some questions about some refunds that were issued. We have 14812 Indiana, which was $1,000 refund was issued to EPG Chicago SSH LLC, but they turned over a $15,000 check to the Village of Dalton. So it was a question in reference to that, because that same day, another $1,000 check was issued to the same property, which is a house at 14812 Indiana, and then the owner was David Cannon. So we pulled that because their email that went out stating that we have to copy the village administrator and set an appointment to speak to either housing or finance or whatever. And if we got it on Friday evening, and today was the only day that we can really speak to someone, we wouldn't have accurate documents of why they paid $15,000 and only got $1,000 back. And it's a home, and two different owners have been issued checks for this particular property.
Okay, anything else?
Anything else?
Yeah.
My,
All right,
Yeah.
go ahead, Trustee.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
my only concern with this warrant list is $625,000 in warrants and checks printed after the warrant list. That means after we got the warrant list, they issued $625,000 worth of checks. It's so money's been spent. So there's no checks and balances. We're getting warrant list lates. We're getting all this stuff after the fact, so we have time to really look at it. So we have to set meetings with department heads. But like Trustee said, we got it Saturday, and then Monday you can't really set no department head meeting with anybody to ask these questions. So that's my concern, is just spending without no proper time given to the board to review, to make these decisions. It's just last minute for us. So that's just my input on why we pull certain things.
All right, anybody else?
Oh, yeah, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
I guess I'm just wondering when we receive the credit card bills. I know it's been like a month or two since we received the credit card bills. So since we're going over corporate bills, I was just wondering, do we have them, or will we receive them, and when we will receive them, if so?
All right, anybody else?
Was that a question?
Yeah, there's a question.
You're not the trustee asking. I'm gonna say my statement so we're not going back and forth. Everybody get out whatever they want to say, and then I will respond. Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Everybody got everything out that they wanted to say? All right, as relates to anything that happens here at the Village of Dalton, when we send out the warrant list to the Board of Trustees, it is 24/7 that you work as an elected official. If you get it late on time, you still have time to reach out to myself, as I stated in several meetings. Call my phone. I work 24/7. My phone is never off. If a board member has a issue, a debate as relates to a warrant list up here, as relates to a Monday, you stated that Monday you don't have time to reach out to talk to a department head. You do. You can call Keith Freeman. He is always available. And matter of fact, in our email, we stated, if anybody has questions over the weekend, we are all available to answer any questions that the board may have. What I don't like is we get at these board meetings and we grandstand on things that we could have got answers to before we got here. And then it looks like we're just debating and fighting amongst each other. So if everybody would, again, my cell number is 708-297-6859. You guys can reach out to me or reach out to Keith Freeman. I don't know your cell number by heart, but you can reach out to any of us and we will answer any questions that the board may have. Again, people do work here in the village of Dalton. I do not think it's fair that the board get together on a day like today and say that certain employees will not get paid because they felt that they didn't get something. You're not, how do I say it? You must pay the staff. I'll say that. You must pay the staff. They did the work. They did the time. You pay them for their time. They have nothing to do with anything that we do up here as board members. So I would like you guys to stop trying to hurt them because you don't want to pay them what they're due. So that's my statement for everything that everyone just stated up here. Please just reach out. That's all I've asked. So it's been motioning and seconding. You guys have retracted certain things from the warrant list, so we can call the roll. So we can
Well, there's still discussion. I'm sure somebody else
one more.
wants.
You can
Yes.
do one more. We can do one more. Then
One more. What I'm sure other trustees have something to say, but
let me
finish my point. Let me finish my statement.
Trustee, 1 second. You just made your statement for the record. That's why I waited to the end to make my statement so that we can move forward so it don't be a back and forth. Because at the end of the day, you made your statement that you guys wanted to pay certain bills. It's on the record. So we're going to call the roll and move forward back and forth to do what? Next on the agenda is update on ARPA funds. Trustee Norwood.
Oh, yeah, Mayor, I just put this on agenda because, again, for the sake of transparency, I know that in regards to the ARPA funds and the $1.5 million, as a board, we voted to move forward and create a program for windows and roofs, business grants, and new digital water meters. I know you were supposed to bring back a plan for the application process. Instead, you started taking applications without the board approval, and now we really don't know what's going on. We have residents asking us, is the deadline ended? When are they starting to accept the applications? And all of these good, very good questions. But I'm wondering, are there any reports on this? I know we don't have any paperwork. So I guess I'm wondering who's overseeing the application process. And I want to know, where do we stand in regards to the $1.5 million? I know you stated to me that you all haven't made any distributions, but how do we get the process back on track? To how we started when we first made the general approval of saying, hey, we'll approve to move forward in terms of the expending, but we were still waiting for you to bring back to us the plan in regards to who's accepting the application, who's eligible, all these good questions. So I was just wondering if you can update us on the process.
So, Trustee, you and I spoke, and that's what I mean about grandstanding at board meetings. Me and Trustee Norwood spoke about ARPA funds. Any questions that she did have, I did answer for her. She still wanted to put it on the agenda, I guess, to do exactly this. Residents all know about the process as relates to applying here at the Village of Dalton. If you wanted to get a free roof or free windows, we sent people out, meaning contractors, and they went out to people's homes, which they're still doing currently. I told you this, and I told you we had almost 400 people that applied for this grant, and right now they're doing a checks and balance to make sure that people do qualify for a roof or free windows. Right now, some people, and I think I stated this in the beginning of my report, some people are, and they don't even qualify for it. 1 second. Some people are applying and they don't qualify, such as they don't need a new roof, or say they have a window, but they're getting some seepage as it relates to air, and they just need a sealant around it. So little things like that where it don't cost us any money. I did also told you we have not spent a dime of any of the ARPA funds. The funds are still in the bank account. So anything else that you're asking from me, I'm not understanding, because we did have a actual board meeting where every board member attended. Everybody gave their opinion as it relates to how the funds be spent and what you guys wanted to spend it on. on. I know the Board of Trustees did not want to help the business district. Of course, I had a problem with that, and I said the business district is the root of the community. They the one stand through the pandemic. They the one made it through COVID. You got to give them some type of funds to alleviate some of their pain. So what we did was give them $5,000 for any small business in our community, which we haven't gave any funds, but that's how it's worded now. So everyone is applying. And the business district, that is still open. The application process is still open for anybody that's a small business in our community that makes under $250,000. You can't apply for this grant here in Dalton. So that's your update as relates to the money.
Okay, so thank you, Mayor, for your update. Just a few things. One, you stated that we spoke. Of course, we spoke, Mayor, and that's when I just stated to you that I know you said that we haven't dispersed any money. So I just reiterated that part. And then in regards to the questions that's asked, a resident just stood up in public comment and asked you how to apply and if the registration was open. So that answers the question there. No, all the residents don't know. They aren't aware. I wouldn't have a reason to make up residents calling me, asking me about the process and what we're doing in regards to the process. I don't know if it's just myself. I don't know if any of the other trustees received the information, but I haven't. I don't know about when the process started. It was to my knowledge that we were approving the funds. We were giving you permission to say, hey, yes, we did approve the business spending. We approved the spending in itself, but what we didn't go over is who qualifies. What's the process to apply? Who's overseeing these applications? These are questions that were never answered, and I don't know why you have an issue with me just asking them. I mean, the residents want to know also, so I just figured this would be the perfect time to ask because I know you probably have those answers.
Number one, I don't have an issue with you asking. We spoke over the phone, but you want to do it here in the open. The same questions you asking here, we spoke over the phone as it relates to ARPA funds. That is my first statement. Secondly, obviously, I don't know if you live in Dalton or not, but you must not be getting the mail because I sent out advertisement as it relates to a magazine from the mayor's office, and it says about the ARPA funds, how to apply for the grants in the village of Dalton. So that is me being transparent. So when you guys keep trying to put a spin on not being transparent, and that was paid with my money, Tiffany funds, not the village funds, and I sent that out to the entire body, meaning the entire community. So everyone knows about the grant process because we get calls left to right. Hey, Mayor, how do I apply? Mayor, what can I do? And also it is online. So it is out there and it's been out there. And I speak of it in every mayor's report at the board meetings. So anything else so we can move on? I think I answered all your questions as relates to ARPA.
May I be recognized?
Yes, go ahead.
So just for clarity, because you started off saying all of the residents know. So I'm just going to say as a board member, I think we should have been entitled to the information directly to us instead of just assuming that we was going to get it through a piece of mail from you. But my question is, you said almost 400 people applied. So what is, because you just stated when you started that the second round is coming in June. So when will the first round be dispersed? How many people are going to be eligible? How will we know that as the board? Because we should be able to track that and maintain it because it's still funds that we have to know about since we're not being privy to know this information. Nobody is grandstanding about anything. It's just checks and balances, like you said, checks and balances. We need to understand how much money went out, who's getting this money, who was eligible for it and not eligible. Then you said they're out there checking it. Who's out there checking it? We don't know the vendors. We don't know anything. And none of this is coming from the board. So when you keep talking about transparency and nobody wants to come up here and sit and argue or any of that. We just want to do what we were elected to do. And that's be transparent to the community, be accountable for the funds that's being spent and do our job appropriately. So it's just, I'm really sad that you get here and you like, y'all grandstanding, y'all doing that. No, we're asking questions because obviously you nor the department heads are giving us the answer. Well, I'm not even going to say the department heads, your village administrator and attorney, because I also asked Attorney Vaselli, why isn't our village attorney here? That is Shantae Raines that hasn't been here in meetings. That we just want to know what's going on and you're not giving us that option.
Okay, I did give you the option, but let me check. Hey, Siri, was Kiana Belcher at the meeting we had when we talked about the ARPA funds? Okay.
Absolutely
Okay.
was.
You was, right. Okay. So that's transparency. That is us telling you what's going on. You was in the same meeting that I was in. So everyone up here knows what's going on as relates to the funds here in the Village of Dalton. So all the back and forth and all the grandstanding in the show is none but a show. So we're going to move on. Everybody got it out there.
No,
Siri, is she a
Can
liar?
you answer the question?
We're not
That's
done.
what you asked Siri.
We asked sincere. That's the show. Who's the vendors? Is there RFP process? We're not coming up here just do this just to pull us out of nowhere. It's not being transparent. It's not. I found out about it. But the application process, all that, I gotta find out through a mailer. As I'm a trustee that I got to vote on, we're not making. Yeah, we're not. But we didn't get the process as far as how you gonna roll it out. No matter what she says, we're not just saying doing this. The key word now is grandstanding. She loves to say that. We're not grandstanding. We're just asking critical questions that the village administrator don't answer. No department here would barely answer us because they're scared of their jobs. That's reality. So she's going to say everything I just said is not true. I'm not pulling out of nowhere. Just be transparent. There's no transparency. It's reckless right now. There's no transparency, no checks and balances. It's not. That's reality.
All right. Thank you. Any other comments or can move on?
Are you gonna answer the question, Mayor, in regards to when the funds being dispersed?
I already answered them, and I just told you we haven't spent any money.
Right now, when are we
hold
going to
on.
spend it?
Well, we're not spending it if people still going to do a checks and balance as it relates to who's qualified and who doesn't. If people don't need windows or people don't need roofs, why would we spend the money? Once they are done with the checks and balance, then yes, you guys will have a report as it relates to who qualified, who didn't qualify, and where we are.
So we will be notified before you disperse money. I guess that's the big question that we're all just trying to figure out. Will we be notified?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's the
All right.
question.
Next, we have corporate bills. Trustee House.
Thanks again, Mayor. And I want to put a little context to the corporate bills. On a normal month, our corporate bills average about $2 million. This warrant list is just over $3 million. So I want to make sure I put that into context. I'm going to read the bills into record before making the motion. So we got corporate bill payments of $2,134,239.19. Manual checks of $56,192.58. Gross payroll September 9th, $383,180.64. Gross payroll of September 23rd, $409,602.92. Melanie Fitness Center payment register $45,888.95. Payroll at Melanie September 9th, $428.05. Payroll at Melanie Fitness Center September 23rd, $428.05. Total corporate payments on this register, $3,029,960.38. In combination, I will also read the accounts payable, which is the electronic payments that come out of our account. Into record, corporate payments, $166,180.77. Water fund payments, $311,834.14. Federal forfeiture register, $5. Sewer fund register, $806.69. Melanie Fitness Center register, $162.86. Total payments on this register, $478,989.46. My motion at this time will be that we approve the payroll on this register and all other invoices be held for a week to allow the board the chance to held until next week, Monday, for a special board meeting to be called, allow the board members time to review, get answers, discuss with the finance director as well as administration why the bills are higher, much higher. We've seen some things on the warrant list, but we'd like to get some answers. So my motion is to pay the payroll at this time while moving the other bills to October 10th special meeting that we would like to call. So my motion is to defer the payroll only.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. So any discussion? Because I got a lot of questions. Why would you guys motion to move not paying the bills when you guys know we pay the bills every first board meeting of the month? And this is primarily my example residents. If they was actually doing their job instead of worrying about fighting me and doing recalls, you guys will be equipped and ready for this meeting. You guys looked at this warrant list. If y'all have any questions, you can ask it now so we can get the bills paid. We have things that we are doing. We have projects that we're doing currently now, and we need to move forward. So I'm asking the board to reconsider and pay the bills so we can continue doing our work.
May I be recognized?
Go ahead.
You just said that if we ask questions, are you going to respond to them right now? Because that's what you asked.
Trustee.
I just asked the
It's
question. You
always
just
a
said-
smart remark.
That wasn't smart.
You
I
coulda
said, you
asked the
said
question.
if we answered the questions, are you going to have a response right now before we make a decision to pay these bills?
Trustee, obviously y'all got y'all mind made up, right? Because you came
I asked
in
the
here.
question.
Hold on, and I'm responding. Because you came in here and you said that you want to table it to have a special board meeting. So don't waste our time asking us questions if you guys are not going to pay the bills.
I asked the question. I just want to respond.
You guys could have made a motion to pay the bills and had discussion
I
like
haven't
we
said a
always
word. I just
do.
asked the question. Are you going to respond?
Trustee, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. So if you guys would have made a motion to pay the bills like we always do, second it, and then ask your questions like we always do, you would have had your answers.
Okay,
But
we-
obviously you guys have a different agenda.
We
As
received
always.
this at 6:31 on Saturday nights. Today is Monday. All I'm asking, if you going to answer the questions or anyone from your administration, finance director, village administrator, I don't care who, answer the questions in reference to some of these payments that need to be made. That's my answer.
Trustee, if you had questions, like you said, you didn't have this warrant list, you could have sent the email, you could have put it in writing, you could have made a phone call, you could have asked any type of question.
And I
You
could have
coulda
came
called
right here to my
Hold on,
job
and you could have
and asked the
called
question.
today and asked questions. You guys didn't. Y'all do this every board
So
meeting.
you're not going to respond? That's all I
Trustee,
want
you
to
want to take the motion off the floor? I can respond.
Oh,
and
so
you
you're
can
not
ask your
going to
question.
respond unless you get your way?
And you can answer your question.
Okay.
Go ahead, answer your question.
If you're not going to respond, it doesn't matter.
I think you guys need to pay the bills.
Well, let me say this. We usually get the warrant list Thursday. That's how it's been for the
We got
past 5, 6, 7
every excuse
years.
why we don't pay bills.
Can I finish my
Go
statement,
ahead.
please? And we usually get the bills Thursday. We got $2 million of extra spend, almost $1 million, $100,000 for a skating rink. And with the finance director to say, we're operating at a $1.5 million deficit right now. And then later on this agenda, they want to take out a loan to actually pay bills. If we were being more cautious with our money and running lean, you run lean in the government towards the end of the year because you're waiting on property taxes. And we're not getting the property taxes right now because there's so much spending.
Order in the back of the room, order.
She actually wants to take out a loan to pay bills. So all I'm saying is that we're getting this too late. Who we gonna call on Saturday for a question? We usually get it on Thursday. If we get on Thursday, with Friday we can ask all the questions that we want. But we're getting it Saturday evening intentionally. So when we come here and ask questions, we generally don't get an answer. So all we need is more time to go through this warrant list. $40,000 at Melanie Fitness to fix a pool. None of this stuff is ran before the board. None of this stuff is ran. It's done, and all of a sudden we see it, and then it's on the warrant list to pay for it. I seen the ice skating rink. I didn't know how much it cost. Supposedly we were supposed to get donations, $105,000 out of taxpayers' money to pay for it, and we don't know. And like I said, we have to take out a loan. She's asking to take out a loan just to pay bills. So when you spend more than what you have, then you have to take out a loan to do that. That's irresponsible use of money. So all we're saying is just be patient. Let us get us a week. And then the question or the statement, she hasn't paid a lawyer in the last 7 months.
Order, please.
So there's no money getting paid to our attorneys. So that money is not being used. I know she says it, but she hasn't paid it. So all I'm saying is that let's give us a week or so to go through all this extra spending that we didn't budget for, that we didn't account for, that obviously we're running at a deficit. We're at $1.5 million deficit right now. So obviously, if we're not responsible for this money, we're going to take out more loans, more tax anticipation loans to pay for stuff that if we were running lean, because right now property taxes are slow, we run lean. That's how you run government. But right now the spending is bananas. And that's all I'm saying is that we just want to be patient, look at it, get some answers, to come in here and talk to our village administrator and the finance director to get some clear answers on what we're paying, why we're paying this much. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. So, once again, you guys had this document. You guys could have reviewed it before we got here. And like y'all always do, grandstand about things y'all don't know about. You make false accusations up here about spending and what it is that I'm truly doing. If you truly wanted to know the answer, Trustee Steves, you could have called me and asked, and then I would have gave you the answer so you wouldn't be up here just throwing things to the public. As it relates to what's on the agenda for a loan, it's because we do not and will not have our tax money in time, which we normally have. have. That's what it's for. It has nothing to do with paying for things that I have here, because the things that I'm paying for that's for community is through a grant. So please get your facts right before you speak. Please.
What grant we got? What grant we got?
See how all you want all the questions now? I'm not going to go back and forth, but you can have a meeting with me. We can go over what grant we have and how we're building out the ice arena.
Right,
So
he
you
just
can
said
stop
that.
telling people that we're using funds of the taxpayers and this grant money that we're using to build these things that I'm creating. Just like I got another grant for $600,000 to build something else. So please get the facts before you keep lying to the public about what it is I am doing. But back to this. Are you guys going to pay the bills, or are you stuck on this motion and second that you made to have a special board meeting?
Well, the motion was paid for payment of payroll only.
And you guys don't want to pay any of the bills? Like y'all know we got other bills besides you talking about the ice rink. We have other bills to pay.
How much is it for roofs? Have we paid $50,000 for roofs? It's just, we haven't, y'all hear the grant. We haven't heard, where's this grant at?
Okay.
Is anybody up here saying
Did you
grant?
ask any questions to find out where any of this stuff is?
Have you contacted any of your board leader? Have you contacted any of
Y'all
us?
was so gung-ho on
Have
the
you said-
recall
have you
going
said-
through that you guys don't even pick up my calls. You guys don't even talk to me. But it didn't work. So I am here. So now I'm asking you guys to move forward and pay the bills.
Ma'am.
That's what the residents want. So let's move forward. Can we please pay the bills? That's what I'm asking the Board of Trustees to pay the bills. So can you amend your motion to pay the bills?
Okay, Mayor, my motion remains the same.
And your second still stands, what was that, Trustee Steves?
Yeah.
All right. Any more discussion? All right, this is a prime example of what is going on in your village. Residents, wake up, pay attention. Every time we get to a board meeting, it is at a halt because trustees don't want to get on board and work with their mayor so that we can continue to do the great things y'all see us doing in the community. But guess what? Where there's a will, there's a way. Things will keep moving forward, I guarantee it. But I just want you to see what it is that I deal with. And I thank God that elections do come every 2 years. So with that being said, please call the roll.
Trustee House,
Aye.
Trustee Norwood,
Aye.
Trustee Steve,
Aye.
Trustee Holmes, Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed.
That's a shame. People so happy about not paying their bills. Y'all remember that. And just so y'all know, for the record, I'm gonna hold up the trustee checks too until the bills get paid.
Baby, you can't
That's
do
what we
that.
gonna do. That's what we gonna do. We gonna play that game.
Since we paid.
Y'all don't want to pay. Y'all don't want to pay.
We
other
done
people.
already got paid.
Hold on. When other people come and do work in our village, y'all need to pay them. Do not hold up their money and think you're gonna get it paid to do nothing. So we're gonna do the same thing until you pay them people. Then y'all get y'all check. Again, the first African American female mayor here in the village of Dalton, making history.